Hey guys, welcome back to Andy's Dinosaur Reviews, and today we have a really cool figure, a brand new release from PNSO to take a look at. This is their Himalayasaurus. I do believe they previously have released a minifigure of the Himalayasaurus, but this is the first time we've had a larger figure of it, and I'm really excited about it because there aren't very many figures out there of this species in general, so it's definitely a great day when we get a figure from PNSO of any species, but especially one that's kind of underappreciated, underrepresented in figure form, so that is an even better day, I would say. But you can see as far as the box art goes, there is a very nice image of the figure there on the front. And we also have, again, the PNSO logo over here, as well as the species name. Up here on the top of the box, you can see a really nice image of that gorgeous head sculpt and some of the body as well of the Himalayasaurus, as well as Every Life Deserves Your Respect and PNSO down there. Of course, the box is exactly the same on both sides. Again, same deal over there. And then if we take a look over here at this side, we have another image of the Himalayasaurus, again the PNSO logo, and then the underneath is pretty much your standard information that you usually find on the underside of a PNSO box. So let's pop this open and take a look at this new PNSO figure. So as usual, we have a booklet with, I'm sure, all kinds of fun stuff inside. As we open it up, we have information on PNSO, as well as a silhouette there of the Himalayasaurus, the name of the Himalayasaurus, and then we have a really nice image right there. That is beautiful. Again, they always kind of have like almost a photo shoot included within these booklets of the figure. There's another beautiful image right there, also showing off how nice and flashy the overall coloration is. And this is something I actually didn't realize prior. I didn't realize it had this kind of like shine to it, so I'm really intrigued to see how it looks on the figure, to see if that follows through on the figure with that really cool, almost like similar shine to what they had added on to their Microraptor quite a ways back, which I really loved. And then we can see that we have yet another image there, and this is usually the case with these booklets. You get tons of really nice, very high quality images of the figure, as well as a really nice silhouette here, including the skeletal reconstruction of the Himalayasaurus. And then, ooh, there's a really nice image, you know, not of the figure, just some really beautiful artwork from PNSO. That is just gorgeous looking, really nice, very realistic and lifelike looking. And then we continue on with some more really cool images. Again, PNSO is responsible for some of the nicest artwork that you'll ever see anywhere. And of course, this continues throughout the course of the booklet. There's all kinds of information on the species and all kinds of fun stuff. I don't want to go through the entire thing, ruin the entire thing for you guys. That's, you know, for you to check out when you actually purchase the model. And then we have what is one of my favorite parts of every PNSO release, and that is the posters that they include. Cannot wait to get a look at this one, which maybe it'll be the image that we, yes it is. Ooh, that is so much nicer when it's now in a larger size. If I can get it to stay open, there we go. Look at how beautiful it looks now with a much larger size overall, showing the entire image of this gorgeous artwork. The light is just totally drowning some aspects of it away, but you can see again a really nice image of the Himalayasaurus catching itself a meal, and it looks incredible here as far as this artwork goes. I absolutely adore the artwork included in all of these PNSO models, something that really could flood your entire wall with incredible prehistoric scenes. Is whenever you purchase a really nice PNSO model, you get these gorgeous posters as well. And then as per usual, we have our stands here for our Himalayasaurus to balance on, and then of course, the star of the show, which is the Himalayasaurus itself. And look at that beautiful paint application and paint scheme they've given it. Again, it looks, you know, if you just take a first glance at it, it doesn't look all that flashy. But when you actually get nice and close and realize how beautiful that coloration is, it is super flashy. It has this really cool shine, like a really nice greenish shine that almost like transitions back and forth as you turn it because of the way it just kind of glares off of the light. It's really neat looking in hand. Definitely one of the most striking marine releases from PNSO yet. I love the eyes as well. Those eyes are really nice looking. So definitely another incredible looking model. I can tell that much already. So let's jump to a closer look at this beautiful Himalayasaurus. So starting up here at the head sculpt, you can see on top of the really nice paintwork, which I've already praised in this review, you can see how nice the actual detailing aspect is to the head sculpt of this Himalayasaurus. Like, it's really nicely done. There's a lot of skin detail shown as far as like wrinkles and creases and just kind of indents on the skin. It looks super lifelike the way that they have sculpted this out as per usual. I love the fact that the mouth is sculpted closed, which is definitely a very nice appealing look for the figure. When you have so many prehistoric marine animals like this that are continuously posed with the mouths open, it is a breath of fresh air every once in a while to get one with the mouth closed. And although the mouth is closed, you can see the teeth that run along the jawline quite nicely. They're very small, but they look really well done, and they are also all individually painted, making it look even more incredible. You can see that the nostrils are sculpted out up here at the tip of the snout. The eye as well is very nicely sculpted, given a beautiful gloss coat painted with a yellow and a black pupil. It looks incredibly lifelike. I really love the eye. And there's also some nice transitioning to an alternate shade of color there around the eye, kind of like a lighter tone of almost like a light grayish sort of a color, but similar to the rest of the body, where as you kind of turn it and let the light hit it, it almost changes colors on you, so it's really tough to identify exactly what color you would term it. Again, similar to the body color, where some areas where you shine the light on it kind of looks grayish, but then as you turn it, it has a really cool greenish shine to it, which is incredibly awesome to look at, very visually appealing. You can see more of the structure of the Himalayasaurus here from up above. It looks really nice. If we spin it around and take a look at the opposing side of the head, again, the eye paint is very nicely done, very carefully applied. The coloration there around the eye as well looks great. You have a very smooth transition between the colors, transitioning to that lighter tone of color around the eye. The teeth look great over here. Again, really nice skin detail throughout, and you can see some really nice alternate shades of color as we have like some pinks, some really light pinks included in here that kind of blend amongst the off-white for the underside, and then of course this greenish, grayish type of a color here as we turn up into the upper part of the head. And lots of beautiful skin detail, again, as you see like creases and wrinkles and all kinds of stuff going on here that you almost can't even pick up on until you really turn the figure in the light and let the light hit it. Similar to the coloration itself and showing off the absolute beauty of it, you really can't tell just how nice the detailing aspect is until you get it in a nice light and kind of turn the figure and allow the light to hit it to show you that. We do have the seam again here, similar to a few of the other recent PNSO figures. Some people have really taken a disliking to that aspect, but personally, I don't mind it. Again, it's not anything that bothers me, and it's not something that was like hidden from PNSO and it shows up and it's like, oh, look at that seam. It's shown quite visibly in the prototype, so you knew the figure would have a seam if you were purchasing it. And again, I don't think the seam is much of an issue. I've never been a big hater on seams or anything. They've never really bothered me. And on top of that, with the figure looking as incredible as it is, like, that seam is almost an afterthought when you really look at the overall beauty of this figure. As you run down here into the front fin, you can see that the actual fin itself looks great. Again, some really nice creasing there as you leave the body into the fin. And yet again, you can see the really nice, very fine texturing to the skin there on the fin. And you can see that throughout the course of the entire figure. Like, it has a really beautiful, very fine texturing, but it's so fine you really can't pick up on it again until you get it in a nice light. And that seems to be pretty much the overall consensus with the majority of how nice this figure looks. It really could be taken for granted until you pull it out and get it in a really nice bright light, and you can honestly take in the unbelievable majestic beauty of this Himalayasaurus figure. As you move along the course of the figure, again, you can see how nice the actual very fine detail of the figure is. You can also see a dorsal fin up here on the top. There's a really nice kind of like a crease here in the stomach region. I don't know exactly if that's meant to be maybe an injury or just, some more of the structure of the animal. I do like the very abrupt transition, which doesn't always look all that great, but on this one it definitely does, between the greenish coloration and then the light underbelly. I do like that. It looks really nice as far as the way the overall figure looks, and it almost has like a light yellowish tone of color that kind of follows here underneath and then transitions to a white here on the underside. And you can also see, again, some pink and stuff back here as well, just to provide a little more extra color variation, and that actually shows up throughout the course of the figure. You can see it on the underneaths of the fins as well, even up here into the throat area and everything, so there's some beautiful, very minute difference in color on the underneath to help add yet another level of realism to the figure. And then as you move back further, again, you can see more of the fins here on the rear of the animal, as well as a few more creases there as the body, transitions to the fins. And then we have a really nice, really long tail for our Himalayasaurus. And yet again, that coloration is just gorgeous. Absolutely beautiful looking. Definitely one of the most striking marine animals released by PNSO. I can say that with complete confidence. And again, you can see like some small imperfections throughout the course of the tail, just adding in another level of realism, something I love to see because it's something you would see on a living version of this animal. Not, perfectly surviving in a prehistoric world without ever having any type of danger nearing it. No, injuries or anything. That's just not going to happen. So I do like the addition of those very small, minor details. Again, same deal over here as far as the detailing aspect goes. It looks beautiful. So does the paint. You don't really see too much difference, honestly, on this side compared to the previous side because the Himalayasaurus isn't in any type of a crazy dramatic position. The animal is pretty much just swimming along, and you can see when you look up above, there is a slight curve to the body, but it's not anything super dramatic, which means you're not going to see any type of a drastic difference over here on this side. Again, the fins look great throughout. You have the dorsal fin up here on the top, and just generally the structure of the figure looks beautiful, and you can see how we have this really abrupt transition here, but back here it has a much smoother transition, so you can see how nice and smoothly that transitions down to the lighter underbelly, and again, a little more hint of that pink back here, but you can see the tail fin looks great back here. Again, that beautiful shine is just honestly something to behold. You really need to get this figure in hand to truly appreciate how gorgeous it looks. Another incredibly awesome figure from PNSO. And then of course we have our stands here to apply our Himalayasaurus to. I actually got to find the sweet spot because I'm not positive where it is as to how we position it. So there we go. It's staying up like that. So actually I think I should balance it like that. That probably makes a little bit more sense to display it right there. I feel like it holds it up a little bit nicer when the pegs are a little closer together. But as far as this size goes, for a length from the tip of the snout there to the tip of the tail, which you may not be able to see all that well right now, it is about 12¼ inches or around 31 centimeters. And then for a height, of course, this is up on the peg, so this isn't the exact height that it would be if it were on the ground, obviously. For a height here, the highest point would actually probably be the back. You were looking at about 4 inches or 10 centimeters there up on the pegs. For a size comparison, there is Mr. Papo T-Rex, the Attack Pack Colovosaurus, and Robert Muldoon from the Mattel Jurassic World toy line in comparison to our PNSO Himalayasaurus. And this should show you that it does actually have a pretty good size. It's honestly bigger than I expected it to be, which was a pretty pleasant surprise, honestly, when I opened it up and realized how big it actually was. It's not massive, but it's definitely a very desirable size and a very striking size overall. And hopefully with these figures in comparison, you should be able to see that. And then for another size comparison, here is our Himalayasaurus next to a few other marine species from PNSO. Again, if you happen to own any of these other figures here, it should already help to give you a pretty good size of the figure. Again, I have given you a measurement, so if that didn't help, then hopefully these figures in comparison, as well as Mr. Papo Rex and those Mattel figures, will help to show you again that the size is really quite nice. Very impressive size, much, again, more sizable than I was expecting. So this brand new PNSO Himalayasaurus is another gorgeous figure that I really wasn't quite prepared for how nice it truly would be. With the original prototype images, I honestly thought it was just a grayish coloration and then kind of like the white underbelly. I don't know if I just didn't take long enough to really inspect the images or what exactly, but I was really blown away when I initially pulled it out of the packaging and realized how bright and flashy the color actually is on the Himalayasaurus. It's really nice looking. I love the way that they've given it that really cool shine. It's so different than many of the previous marine creatures that PNSO has released, with a really nice, really flashy looking coloration to it. Again, having a similar shine to the PNSO Microraptor, which I absolutely loved the way that looked. I love the way this looks. Very creative and unique as far as the coloration goes, but the sculpt is really beautifully done. Again, there's not any kind of like a dramatic or crazy pose going on for the Himalayasaurus. It's just kind of swimming along. It doesn't need that kind of dramatic or crazy pose, especially with the mouth being closed. You would think it would be more at ease and just kind of swimming along, more so than having any kind of like a crazy attack visualization or anything like that. Like it's just swimming along, the mouth is closed. It looks like it's just enjoying its day pretty much, which I really do quite like, because we don't always need to show the fierce side of animals. We can show the beauty of them as well, and that's exactly what this PNSO model does quite nicely. It shows off the beauty of this incredible species. And on top of the beautiful sculpt and beautiful paint, we have a really nice size for the model on top of everything. So if you take all of that and combine it with the fact that it is a PNSO Himalayasaurus, a species that we really haven't had very many figures of in the past, this one here is, in my opinion, the definitive version of a Himalayasaurus, easily the nicest looking version that I have seen out yet. Another gorgeous release from PNSO. So if you are interested in picking this up, I will include a link in the description to where you can do that on both the Amazon PNSO store as well as the PNSO Aliexpress store. So make sure you check the links in the description, pick up this fantastic figure, and make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next review. Thanks for watching.